the lighting is still intact at this point. And of course, coming home from work, what do I see? That my neighbor, her friend, whatever, her trashy friend in the Prius, yep, he's going to jail. It's a shame you want to put your friends in jail too, Linda. Just crazy. The trash I live next to. She's just mad because the check I got the other day. That's all right. I'm going to get more money out of her. And every time she destroys that or has her friends destroy my property, I'm going to have them thrown in jail. So yeah, right now I'm going to call the police. All right, so I just called them and they're going to come look. And here's the video of him today doing it. Comes right to the pole and just starts whacking everything down. Still waiting on the police to show up. It's been about 45 minutes now, but I understand there's definitely more pressing matters happening in this town than, some lights being destroyed, but I'm hoping they show up before it gets dark. Okay, so that was the PD. They just called me. They're still coming, but they are dealing with, some more important matters. So, I can understand that. Okay, it's now been 2.5, almost 3 hours, and still no sign of the police, but supposedly they're still on their way, but it's definitely dark outside, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm hearing sirens going. The police are clearly having a rough night tonight. I just called and she said that, yeah, they're dealing with a bunch of other stuff right now. Good thing it's not an emergency I'm having, right? But I'm going to, I guess, call them back tomorrow and schedule a time for tomorrow. Well, you can't see those lights, but fortunately you can see all the other lighting still. Yeah, the guy in the Prius, brazen. I will say that. He's got a bumper sticker that says Army Strong. I'd like to say, no, more like just a typical punk, But, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead, I guess, and wait for the police tomorrow when it's daylight. I want it to be daylight, just so they can see the damage, and maybe I'll look out and he'll be back. I don't know. I think at this point, yeah, unless he shows up later tonight. But he showed up the other night, and I stopped him by walking outside, whatever he was going to do. So, he's definitely on a mission to keep destroying those lights. This is the third time in less than a week that he has destroyed. I retape. I'm not going to retape this time because there's a bunch of fingerprints on that tape right now. So, yeah. Nothing else, maybe I can get him for a malicious mischief. And I know he's doing it on behalf of my neighbor. God knows what she's told him to make him want to do that, but she probably didn't tell him I have security cameras, and I've busted him all 3 times doing it. I'm going to go pick up that one piece of tape I saw on the ground just to save it. There could be a few fingerprints on it. Okay, here you can see a little better what's taking place. Right to the light. Yeah, he's definitely brazen, if nothing else. But, while I was out there actually waiting for the police to show up, even though they didn't show up, my neighbor from across the way came over and he goes, by the way, since I see you out here, there's one light that you have out here that keeps shining into my bathroom window at night when it goes off because it's a motion detector. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me readjust it for you so that it doesn't shine in your area. I was pointing it to shine at this area right here. He's like, okay. And then we were talking a little bit about, what's happening between me and the neighbor because, apparently it's no secret that there's a feud happening between us. And he told me that day I saw the grandson, defendant number 2, being taken away in handcuffs. And then, the following day he no longer lived there. That my neighbor said that he had stole $7,000 from her. And, you know, he tells me this after he was telling me, yeah, she's, you know, you got to feel bad for her because she's a bit, you know, she's destitute and she's got some issues. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then when he told me that, you know, the grandson supposedly stole $7,000, my first thought was, did you just use destitute and $7,000 in the same sentence? Because, you know, the circles that those two words do not belong in the same sentence. There's no way somebody can be destitute with $7,000, okay? So either she's lying about the $7,000 or she's not lying about the $7,000. And, you know, she can afford to pay me the rest of the money she owes me. All right, today's date is September 24th, Tuesday, and so anyway, I get this in the mail. Again, a notice from the city saying that I need to remove my green trash bin, basically, right? Because there's been a complaint filed. Yeah, I wonder from who. But, you know, it's like the city. We can't force her to clean her trash. Also, the city. You need to move that trash can that you've been using to clean up her trash with. Yeah, kind of a catch-22 there, but I guess I'm going to try and maybe go talk with them in person. You know, if worse comes to worse, I'll just take the fine. But I also got to, of course, head to the sheriff today and give them more money to do another bank levy because that end of the 6-month writ of execution is coming to an end. And then it has to be renewed, but I got to put one more in, I guess, today. And because I'm working next Monday, I'm booked solid. I can't take off to go to the sheriff. And also, I got to have the police come here today because, you know, my lighting got destroyed for the 3rd time last night. Actually, yesterday afternoon while I was at work. And the police weren't able to come here because, you know, clearly, yeah, there's a lot more pressing issues going on. But in the meantime, I left the lighting there, brought in some of the tape, and I'm guessing that vehicle will show up again today. Maybe not, but I do have the license plate, so I definitely plan on having the police at least come look at it and see if perhaps I can have this person arrested for at least malicious mischief, if nothing else. Yeah, the guy in the Prius, this is his 3rd time destroying my property. Malicious mischief. And he's doing it on behalf of her. Okay, heading out. You know, it occurred to me, it's just the mere fact that she keeps persuading people who know her to do things on her behalf, like lie and destroy property and stuff like that. Just good thing she's not my friend. Okay, that's that. Okay, so yeah, I guess you do another bank levy. Yes, first thing on my agenda is hit the sheriff first because, you know, I wanted to put in another bank levy before that writ expires. It has to be renewed, I guess, sometime in October, but at this point in time, I definitely wanted to get one last chance at snagging or seizing anything out of her bank account if she has it. Yeah, especially, you know, considering all the damage she's having her friends do to my lighting. So at this point in time, yeah, okay, now I still gotta, I guess, go to the police department and see if I can just file a report there at the police department. I don't know. Whew, all right, long day. Yeah, just leaving the police department. It took a while to actually get a chance to file that report and speak with the officers, but I did get to speak with them. And, you know, whether or not the person in the Prius gets arrested is left to be seen. They, I guess, checked the license plate and everything, and it's registered to a man that appears to be over 60, but, you know, the person I'm seeing looks to be in his 20s. So, but the license plate in the video, everything does match up. So I don't know if they'll get a chance to cite him for malicious mischief or not, but they said they'd let me know what the outcome is. So I guess I'll just have to do that, wait and see again. And, you know, I spent another hour repairing it the second time.
Unfortunately, with it being on city property, there's not much.
Like I said, I'm better off just, even though the best reaction is no reaction, I'm almost going to get my satisfaction if I just go ahead and hit her. You know, just like it's crazy. It really is, because that would be 1 day in jail and 1 day in court instead of 2 years of trying to bust her doing things that she shouldn't be doing and getting away with doing and having, you know, like I said, that kid, she's using a juvenile. That, if anything, that is juvenile not delinquent. So I just got off the phone with one officer who said she made contact with him and determined that he's a juvenile, therefore untouchable, right? And I said, well, you can't get my next door neighbor for child abuse because she's having people that are underage committing crimes on her behalf. Isn't that child abuse? And she's like, no, unfortunately, he said that, you know, he just wants to clean up that area for her. I'm like, so great if I go repair that light for the 4th time. And then what, you know? They go, oh, we can't really do anything to him because, you know, where you got the lighting, it's technically not on your property. It's on a pole. So I go, so if I get my own pole? Yeah, I can get my own pole. So I think I'll get my own pole. Taking an old umbrella pole, actually. I'm going to turn that into a light stick. Put it in there, maybe add some cement, I don't know. But yeah, put some notes out so everybody knows that, yeah, excuse the mess, but my next door neighbor has her friend destroying my lighting. Yeah. You can tell the police anything he wants. It's pretty obvious that, you know, he didn't like my lighting. Okay, I put in another pole, more lighting. Yeah, they took the lights off of that pole, so I added 2 new poles. Okay, so yeah, it's the end of the night. It's been a long day. I really, you know, I'm still just kind of taken back by the fact that I sat at the police department for 2 hours and handed over all that video and the car info and the license plate, and I'm being told that, you know, because this person's under 18 and because even though it was my lighting, but the city owns the pole. I mean, the lighting's been there for 2 years. That doesn't matter. That because it's the city's pole, he technically hasn't committed a crime. I'm like, well, hasn't she committed a crime, you know, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, is it? You know, I feel bad for the kid. Because seriously, truly, you know, he's being already taught how to not be a good person. Okay? But, you know, the officer did say that if he steps on my lawn and comes after any of those lights on my front lawn, then I can perhaps press charges for malicious mischief. But in the meantime, there has been no crime. So, okay, no matter what, I still got the lien on the house, still doing the bank levies, still doing the third-party levies every chance I get. And I did get a check recently, which is, I'm sure, what instigated all my lights being torn off that pole. But it's only lighting, okay? Solar lighting. And, you know, I'm sure she's going to keep destroying stuff. But I decided to go ahead and erect a couple more poles. That's right. You know, like waving steak in front of a hungry dog. I just put up the poles, added a bunch of lights, so it's kind of like a tree pole, or whatever, a light tree, I guess technically. And I put them right in line with that pole. And I think tomorrow I'm going to add a few more bigger poles, and then I'm going to look for the brightest LEDs I can find and just point it right there. Yeah, maybe I'm, you know, taking this a little further than I need to, but it just kills me every time she destroys my property or has somebody destroy my property on her behalf, because, you know, she tells these young people to do it. She, you know, yeah. She's not a nice person, and she can manipulate and convince people to do stuff on her behalf. And no matter what, she's still my next door neighbor, so I can ignore her. But I did put up a sign with an arrow. It says bad neighbor. And basically, yeah, they step on my lawn. That's it, you know? But, yeah. But I got another bank levy put in there today. And, I don't know. It's pretty obvious my neighbor has not decided to be a good person and not ready to end this feud, and will do whatever she can to avoid paying me the money. She, you know, that's my neighbor. Be grateful she is not your neighbor. Look what I found. 8-foot flagpoles. That could work. It could work. I mean, you know, now that I know that she doesn't like the lighting, you know, just like a cockroach, they don't like the lights. I'm thinking a few flagpoles, a few lights, maybe a little more than a few lights. Yeah. Now that I know she doesn't like the lighting, I'm thinking I'm going to take part of that money that I got out of her checking account and go get some flagpoles and some lights, some more lights. She's really going to hate this place at Christmas time, but yeah, no, I'm thinking flagpoles. They could be the metal pole, 8 foot, right? Add some lights and just watch what happens. Yeah, officer, how many flagpoles am I allowed to put on my lawn? Okay, so whoever was on her roof just left. I don't know if he's going to do any repairs, but I hope he's smart enough to get some money up front. But anyway, yeah, you know, I'm still a little miffed about the fact that she employed an underaged, you know, person to destroy my property. Yeah, okay, so maybe it wasn't illegal for me to decorate that pole with the safety reflector tape and the lighting, and it wasn't illegal for him to remove that decoration on behalf of my neighbor. But, you know, she still contributed to the delinquency of a minor, and she's still clearly harassing me. You know, she destroyed the stuff on my decorations in my backyard a couple of weeks ago. And, yeah, I didn't have her arrested for that, but I think I'm going to call the police department today and find out when I can get a copy of the fact that, you know, I filed that report and displayed video, and they declined to, you know, I guess, press charges. So, but this is still a civil matter, right? Because she's doing all this retaliation because she doesn't want to pay me the money, and because I did manage to see some money out of her checking account. So, yeah, I think I may have to sue her again just for harassment. Yeah, it's definitely retaliation and harassment, because, you know, the lights on that pole have been on that pole for over 2 years before any of the court battles began. And once I got money out of her bank, all of a sudden they need to come down now. You know, for the officer to tell me that, well, the boy is just saying he was cleaning it up on her behalf. I'm like, what about all the trash that's down there, you know, and all the other trash? You should be cleaning that up. But yeah, I'm going to go get, I think, some flagpoles and a bunch of lights. Now that I know the cockroaches don't like the lighting. Yeah, I'm going to add a few more poles. The lighting was there for 2 years before the court case began. But yeah, look at all that trash. But he's cleaning up the pole.